Hi everyone, it's Lillian here from Stamper's Niche, coming to you from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. And I have a few things to share with you today and a Create With Me project. So hopefully you're ready to create along with me. But just before we do, I have a couple of new products I want to show you. So let's just go down to my desk and continue on here. Do you see all that sparkle down here? Yep, that's the new rainbow glimmer paper. And I just got mine in a shipment in last night, and I'm so excited about it. It's absolutely gorgeous, even more so in person than any other way, I think. And it's fairly thin, so that it's easy to cut or punch or work with. But I think that I'm just trying to remember the colors here, but I think it's Granny Apple Green, Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss, Melon Mambo, and maybe Daffodil Delight. I'm not sure. So I am also just trying to get the computer set up here as well, and I see Diana's here. So hi Diana, good to see you there. I've been had a few days break. We took a few days with away from doing everything, and so I'm just getting back in the swing of things. So one other thing I wanted to share with you is this is a card I received recently in a swap, and I just fell in love with it. I don't know if you can see the embossing folder that was used here. It's called Dandelions, and this card, well, though I looked at the embossing folder before, I had to go buy it. And then she used the crinkled ribbon, which comes in white, and what she did is used her blends and colored the ribbon so that everything worked together beautifully. And those of you who know me know that I love lots of white or a clean background. That seems to really draw me. So this was that particular card. Here's a better view of the ribbon. See how well it dyes with the blends. So I got the embossing folder, Dandelions. It's a 3D one. Right now I like to put a blue sticker on the 3D ones because I use the blue plate, but once we get the new die cutting machine, the plates will be the right thickness, pardon me. So I also did it in the champagne. Now isn't that gorgeous? I just absolutely love it. So here it is just on cardstock, which is absolutely gorgeous too, and it would look great too with a little bit brush of ink. And here is the champagne. This would just make a card on its own. So I just did this last night, so I have to play with it a little bit. But I am sure that I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. Okay, let's get on with today's Create With Me card. It's a monochromatic one, meaning we're sticking with one color basically, with a few accessories. And it's actually a very simple and quick card. I originally saw this one when it was shared by another demonstrator. Her name was, I'm going to try to not murder it, Akiko Sudano. And she used one of the new sets from the holiday catalog called Beautiful Autumn. But I've adapted it to a different set, and I'm going to use Very Vanilla, which I haven't used for a while. Very Vanilla, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. So there's that. And then I've got another piece of Very Vanilla, 3.75 by 5. And then this one is just 1/8 of an inch smaller, so it's 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And if you're someone who doesn't like to work with the eighths, you could make it 1/4 of an inch different there. And then one small piece to stamp on, and I cut it with the stitched rectangles, but if you wanted to just cut it, it's approximately 1.5 by 2 3/4, but you've got lots of wiggle room. You can make it whatever you want. So those are the sizes that we have. Then I'm using some ribbon or twine and well, I'll explain the stamp set and that kind of thing in a minute. But my first step is on the 3 5/8 by the 4 7/8 piece. I'm going to bring my die cutting machine in and embossing folder and run that through. Now, if you were wanting to stamp on this, you would stamp first. Let me just show you where, no, I don't have a card made, sorry, so I can't show you. So I'm just going to tuck it in here. This is just the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder. This is one of my favorites, along with the Subtle, just for something, just to add a bit of texture but not overwhelming in the background. If you were wanting to stamp on that piece of paper, stamp before you run it through the embossing machine. So there we go, we've got it run through, and we'll take it out, and we've got that gorgeous texture there. I love embossing folders. That's just something I really, really like. So what we can do right now, this is going to fasten on to the 3 3/4 by 5" piece. So it will just have a narrow border all the way around like that. So to do that, I like to use my multi-purpose liquid glue, because when I've got that narrow border, sometimes I need to wiggle it a bit to get it straight. And I am using Diana's trick again of keeping the silicone craft mat underneath so I can see the edges better. So I'm not working on white or light color on light color. Okay, I think I've got that pretty straight. While I've got this here, I'm just going to fold the card base while that's setting up. Run my bone folder over it and put that to the side, and put that to the side, and now I'm going to bring in this little piece here. The stamp set I'm going to use today is called Comfort and Hope. Like I said, she used Beautiful Autumn, and you can, I'll show you at the end how I used a different stamp set altogether. I'm going to use this right here, and also these words. This is a gorgeous set. It's got know that I love you and care about you. Sometimes there are no words. Sending you a paper hug. I like that one a lot. Okay. Oh, I've already got them mounted. Yeah, that would be a good thing. So I'm actually using the same colors that Akiko used. She used Mossy Meadow and also Cinnamon Cider. So I'm going to do it slightly different because I'm using one stamp set, or one stamp, and I'm going to put some words here. And she did hers on this paper, but I'm going to put my words on here. So what I'm going to do is stamp it once, and then I'm just going to rotate the stamp just a little bit and stamp it again, so I have the second impression in the background like that. And I just might even do a third one there. So now you can see how I did all of that. Now I'm going to do the words, and this is, I just want sending you. So when you want just part of a set of words, and I'm going to close this up before I do anything more, you can take your marker and just color the words you want. So use the brush tip of your marker and use the side of it, not the tip. And I'm just running it over the words that I want. The key, of course, is, I better make sure I'm coloring the right words, is when it's close to the other words, to be very careful, and that your stamp is very clean to begin with, because you don't want to pick up a bit of shadow or something because there was something on the rest of the words. Okay, I think I've got that colored in pretty well. Now, the ink will dry quickly, so I'm just going to give it a huff. So I'm breathing my air. No spraying, just warm air, and it reactivates the ink. And now you can see that I've got sending you instead of the whole thing. And I'll put a paper hug on the inside at some point, maybe. Or I might say birthday wishes, or I can do whatever I want. So now this is going to go on here on dimensionals, but I want to add some interest behind it. So I've brought in some ribbon here, and I think I just love this twine. Oh, I should have made note. It comes in a bundle with another ribbon. I think it's the Forever Greenery. And what I love about it is it's soft and it frays. And I'm just trying to see how I would like it underneath. Yeah, it doesn't have to be quite so big. So I'm just going to play with that a little bit. So I've got it to that point. Now I could leave it just like that, but before I do that, I am going to figure out where this is going to go, and I'm just going to put some seal adhesive right there so that when I'm ready I can stick it down in it. All right, so I want to fray it a little bit more so that it's even more airy. Is that a word? Fluffy, whatever, in all the way along. So now I can play with this, and that's how quickly and easily this stuff comes apart. Now once I get it in there, I think that I'll be able to. So I'm just going to do a couple of loops. Oops. Butterfingers or what? Oh, I think I maybe was a bit generous with my twine here. And I'm just going to give it a twist. It just seems to hold it down. And now I've got it on there like that. So right now it doesn't look like much, but look when I put this over top and if I play with it a little bit. So I think that's going to be pretty good. And just before I put that over top, I'm going to try fanning that out, and I'm not going to trim it until I've got the card put together. Then I'll have a better idea, and maybe I better leave that alone because I'm making a mess. All right, and then bring this in. I'm going to put dimensionals on here. And bring this over and just remove the backings. For those of you who haven't seen me do this before, if I come in at a bit of an angle and then they all stick on here, and if you've worked with dimensional backings much, you know how they get all over, and that's a way of keeping them all together. Now just, I think I've got that pretty straight. Put it on like that. Take this out of the way. And I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this as well. I like to put some in the middle so it doesn't sag. Isn't that neat? They're all together. There we go. And put this on the card. Notice I'm just resting it because I want to be able to move it if I need to, which I just had to do. And let's try it again. There we go. I'm almost tempted to cut those in just, well, I'll do this first and see where I'm going from here. There we go. Now, I'm going to live dangerously. I'm making this up as I go along, so we'll see if it works out or not. And I don't want it to be exactly even, so we'll go like that. There we go. And for the finishing touch, I'm just going to bring in the metallic pearls. I'm going to use a gold one. Whoops, and shoot it across my desk. And just add that there. And there is a very simple, monochromatic, easy to do card. Just before I tuck it away, I am going to add this to the inside too. So I just need some scrap paper to stamp it off. 1, 2, there we go. And on the inside, I'm just going to add that. So there's the card. Now let me just show you some other variations here. So I've got this one here. Better leave that there. Then I decided to give it a whirl with Touched My Heart. This is one of the Hostess sets that's at the very back of the catalog on page 187. Let me just show it to you right here. So it's one that you can get for a reduced rate when you're a hostess, and here are a few samples here, but there are lots of gorgeous samples in the on Pinterest and things too. Gorgeous fonts, gorgeous designs. So I took this leaf here and the butterfly, and I didn't put any words on this one, and I stamped it in early espresso. I should have used black likely, and then colored with blends, but it worked out okay. So there is another variation, same design, same background, still got the ribbon here, just added some color, and I could add some Wink of Stella there. Other stamp sets that I happen to have that I thought might work well were Waterfront. I could see doing some of these, or the palm trees, or even words. Another one that I was toying with the idea of using were the feathers from Positive Thoughts, or even the ferns here. Painted poppies would also look gorgeous in this style of card. And of course the Forever Greenery, which I've used and used, it also would look great. So just, I hope that inspires you. If you wanted, you could always add color, but I was going for the monochromatic right here, so that's why it looks like this. Just a big reminder before I sign off that bonus days are ending. August 3rd is the last day, so any orders of merchandise orders of $60 or more, you earn $6 coupon to use in August for every $60 you spend. So do pay attention to that, and if you're putting in an order, remember, if it's close to $60, you might just want to say, oh, do I need some paper or envelopes or glue or whatever. And if you are ordering from my online store, you can find it here. You go there and just click on Shop Now, and the current hostess code right now on any orders less than $200 is this, and then I keep track and help you earn hostess rewards down the road. So hope you enjoyed that card. If you make one, I would love to see what you make and have some fun with it. So there are all kinds of variations you can go like that. And Diana, I'm so glad you love this card. I'm quite loving it too. So thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.